Hello, Klaus here, and welcome back to yet another video here at the channel. It is October and it's soon going to be Halloween. It's a scary month for some people. We're not going to make it very much scary at all, but I thought it would be fun to do a little animation. And in this case, we are going to do a little ghost animation, and it's going to be pretty cartoony. So it's just going to be created using a couple of PNG files, and I did do the drawing in Procreate and did my drawing, and then just did a PNG out of that. And I'm just going to dump that into Davinci Resolve, and I'm going to go into Fusion, and then we're going to do a little bit of an animation on this very simple ghost. And you can use these small animations to do kind of small commercial spots and stuff like that, like I did with the Halloween sale or Halloween deals, which are available on the store right now. So if you're interested in filmmaking packs, overlays, VHS looks, and stuff like that, take a look down in the description below, and there is some pretty good deals on the site. Anyway, let's just jump right into Davinci Resolve and I'll show you how to do this animation. Let's go.
Okay, so here we are in Davinci Resolve, and let's just start to do this little animation with our cartoony ghost. So first off, I will go up to the effects, and under effects, I'm going to take a new Fusion composition and I'm going to put that down in my timeline here. And then I'm just going to jump into Fusion. So this is what we start out with in Fusion, just a blank composition and a media out. So I'm going to take my images from the media pool. I'm just going to drag those down here and I'm going to put them here. So now I did a lot of merging and I don't really want to do that. I'm just going to close down the media pool. So media one would be the ghost. If you're on PC, you would just push F2. If you're on Mac, you're going to push function F2, and we're just going to rename the clips fast. Ghost, again, selecting the clip, pushing 1 on the keyboard to see what is what. Then we have 3 faces here. Okay, we're going to rename everything. 3 faces, and the last one is a background. Let's quickly just rename those. Okay, so everything is renamed pretty fast. So first off, I'm going to start with my ghost. So I'm just going to move all these around here. I have my ghost here. I'm going to start out by taking a background. Just to set up the composition, I'm going to connect my background to the media out, like so. And then I have my ghost here. If I push 1 on the keyboard, you can see I have it up here. So I'm actually going to take my ghost and copy that. So I'm going to do that by pushing Command C and Command V to paste. So here I have a copy of the ghost, and the main reason I'm doing that is that this is just one drawing and I didn't do layers, so I need to separate the arm and the sign here from the ghost so I can make it move. So let's just quickly do that. Let's just start by taking the copy of the ghost, which is now going to be the ghost, and I'm just going to take a mask here, a polygon mask. I'm just going to select that and go up here and quickly push Command and zoom in. So I'm going to draw out the arm, something like that. So there we go. Don't have to be perfect or anything. We're just going to do it pretty rough. There we go. So we have that now, and we are just going to connect that to the ghost and take that and drop that down to the background here. Quick. There we go. We have a ghost. Actually, I just want to take the background node, click on that, and go up to the inspector. And in the inspector, I'm going to go to the alpha channel. I'm just going to drag that all the way down so it's transparent, easier to see what we are doing. Okay, so let's just take another polygon tool, and I'm going to drag that in. And again, I have my ghost here. So I'm just pushing Command to zoom in, and let's move down. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take these signs. I'm going to select my polygon without connecting it. And then I'm just going to quickly just do like so. I think it should be something like that. Also, by the way, if you want to do a correction to any of the things you did, please go in the inspector and just click here to take off keyframes, because otherwise it's going to do a keyframe and that's going to drive you nuts. if you move things around. So I'm just going to go in here and take a little of this arm here, something like that. Then I'm going to connect this, to the background. And now we have the hand and sign separated from the ghost, which is the top layer. I'm just going to quickly take a transform and put in between the ghost layer and the merge here, because I want to move this hand here. And the easiest way to do that would be to actually change the anchor point, or as it's called in Fusion, the pivot. I mean, you're going to change that over here. So I'm just going to move that around here and put it on the arm. So when I go in and do some kind of a movement, I am moving the hand here, you see. Okay, so I'll go to the beginning of my timeline, and then I'll just go into the angle. I'm going to set a keyframe, and it's not going to be a huge movement. So let's say we go to frame 54, and then I want the sign to move like little, like this maybe, not much. We could also just go up in the center, and I haven't put a keyframe, and just move the hand a little back, so it will be behind the black outline here. Okay, back to the movement of hand. We go from the frame 54 to, let's say, we can go to 100, and then we do the movement again and go to the end and do another one. Just a little movement, something like that. So now we've done an animation on the hand. So it's moving just the way we want it. Great. So next thing we want to do is we actually want to take our ghost and we want to make it kind of feel like it's animated a little bit. So I'm going to collect my ghost and I'm going to push Shift Spacebar. In the search bar, I'm going to write Way Vines, and it's right here. I'm going to add that in. And if we just run it, it looks not very good, but we're selecting the node. We'll go up to the inspector and we can then scale down the animation quite a bit. So now it's doing like this little thing, and the strength, we are going to make it less. Something like that, very small. And then we can go into the face and we can turn that up just a little bit. And then we can go into the speed, either make it go fast, but I just wanted to go very slow. And I think we can put up the scale a little bit again. So now we have like this little floaty animation on, which is kind of cool. So let's just give the ghost some expression. I'll go to the beginning of the keyframe by taking the face we have right here. I can push 1 on the keyboard so I can see the face here. We have this smiley face. And I'm just going to add that to the merge node, and it's going to connect another one. What I want to do, because the colors here I don't like, I want to change those. So I'm going to take a color corrector, which is right here, put that in between face 1 and the merge. And in here, I'm just going to go into I can go into the brightness. But you see, if I start to do anything, it's actually doing it to all of the footage. I don't want it to do that. So here's a little trick. We need to go up to the options and do like this in the checkbox in the pre-divide post-multiply. I'll show you why. So now I've done that. And if I go back to the brightness, of course, you see I am only messing around with that layer. So I'm going to put that down. So it'll be something like that. I think that looks better. And I'm going to take my second face. Let's just take this one. I'm going to add that in. So now we have a second expression. I think I'm only going to use 2 faces to do this, but that's okay. So first off, I'm going to copy the color grade. So I do that by selecting it, Command C and Command V, and pushing Shift and dragging that in between the clip like so. So now we have 2 expressions, and I'll just go to the beginning of the keyframes here. I'm going into the merge 4 for the boo mouth or whatever we're going to call that. And then I go into the blend. I'm just going to put that all the way down like so. So let's say we want the ghost to start by smiling. And then, it's going to be around frame 50, we wanted to say boo or something like that. So I'm going to go one frame back by using the arrow keys, and I'm on the merge 4. So I'll go into the blend option here. I'm putting in a keyframe, and then remember that is on 0. And then I go one frame forward, and I just blend everything up. So this is what we have. Smiling, boo. Maybe it's laughing, I don't know. So we'll do that for a little while. Another keyframe in blend. I'll go like one frame, and then I'll just put the blend down. So now we have like a little mouth smiling, something like that. So for this tutorial, that's all we're going to do. But of course, we could make it more advanced than this, but this is just the basics. So let's see what we have here. So now we have a ghost with a sign saying boo and smiling again. That is our animation. So let's put this into something else. Let's actually take the background I have here. I'm going to take another background. I'm going to leave that here, and then I'm just going to disconnect the ghost I just did. I'm going to take my background and connect that to the media out, like so, and then I have the background where I want the ghost to be. And I'm going to put that on over background number 2. So now we have this postcard, and just want to take my ghost animation and put that in here. So I'm just going to take the merge from all of the ghost actually, and I'm just going to pipe that into the merge on the background and let go. And now our ghost is here. So there we have our ghost. So let's say, I think it's a little bit big, and I also wanted just to like move a little bit. So let's just fix that pretty fast. So I'm going to take a transform, and this transform, since I put this between merge 4 and merge 6 in this case, it's going to be move everything I did in the entire ghost. So it's going to move that. So I'm going into the transform. And first off, actually, I want to scale down my ghost a little bit so it fits into the frame a little bit better. I can move it around, let's say, want it around here, something like that. So we have our ghost now in our postcard. Looks fine for me, and it's just floating a little bit. So let's just say that we wanted to like hover a little here, or move a little forward, a little backwards. We're going to do that by going up to the center, and I'm going to put a keyframe and make sure I'm in the beginning of the composition. So I'm putting in a keyframe. So let's say we go to frame 62, and we're just going to move it a little bit down and a little bit to the side, like so. And then we are going to go to the end, and we're just going to make a very, 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 very simple thing, making it go a little bit up and a little bit there, something like that. So now we have a little animation with the ghosts doing something super simple, like that. Okay, with our transform selected, we're going to go up into the spline editor, and I'm going to select transform 2, and here I have my keyframes. So I'm just going to push this icon here. So I'm going to zoom out, and then I'm just going to highlight everything, and I can just push S to do like a smooth curve animation, and that's basically what we've done now, little smooth curve animation. Last thing to do, I think, it would be to let's close down the spline again. So let's go to merge number 6, and let's go up to the settings, and we're just going to add in motion blur. Pretty simple little effect, but just giving the ghost a little bit of motion blur. So that's basically how you do that little animation. Of course, you could add like VHS overlays and stuff like that, which can be found on the store. If you're interested, take a look down in the description below. Anyway, I do hope you found this little video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out, and if you want to be notified every time there is another video here at the channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner.